My name is Shealy, Friends of Pirates Cove, and today I come before you representing the vast majority of the citizens of the Central Coast. If you go and you talk to these people, they will tell you the same thing that I'm about to tell you. Talk to them anywhere, grocery stores, restaurants. These people love this place exactly as it is, and we come to you as you're our last hope to getting this situation in line with the community's wishes. There have been suggestions that I ask for a continuance. I don't want to ask for a continuance in this case because that's not what the members of Friends of Pirates Cove want. They just want this thing killed. The mission statement of Friends of Pirates Cove is dedicated to maintaining a Pirates Cove in exactly the same natural state and freedom of public use as it has been for ages. And that's what people want, and we're simply going to ask that you deny this development altogether. If you deny it, the county will live to fight another day. If we look in the paper and we see that the county has proposed that they're going to start coming there and picking up trash, that would be nice. I don't think anybody would fight them on that. We've been asking for garbage pickup and cans. That would be fantastic. If they were to pass an ordinance saying that they're closing the parking lot at night, with the exception of leaving those few spaces open that the coastal staff recommended, I don't think anybody would resist that either. That still gives people access to go down to the beach and whatnot, and it gives them an opportunity to mitigate the situation in the parking lot. They wouldn't get any fight on that. However, this whole thing taken, as a whole or piecemeal is simply unacceptable and needs to be rejected out of hand. It's like trying to find a good dumpling in the bottom of a dumpster at a Chinese restaurant. It's not worth digging through all that to get to what may work. I want to ask you something about the county's case, by the way. Do you think that the county knows that part of the Coastal Act, the main mission is to increase access, maximize access to the coast? Do you think the county planners know that? They should, because they're smart people. And if they don't know it in their heart of hearts, they can read it in the Coastal Act, they can read it in the local coastal plan, they can read it in the San Luis Bay plan, even in the Pirates Cove plan itself. It says it over and over and over again, maximizing access. So let me ask you a follow-up question. When they released their original plan, including a parking lot for 35 vehicles rather than the 70 that are there now, do you think that they had maximizing access in mind? Or did they simply intend from the outset to skirt around the Coastal Act and do what they wanted to? When Parks and Recreation Director Curtis Black, who just testified a few minutes ago, testified at the SLO County appeal hearing that night closure would not reduce access because, quote, you could still reach the beach at night, perhaps by kayak. Do you think that he was being sincere? Or do you think that he had simply seen the law, read the law, knew the law, and had simply decided that they were going to find ways around the law? I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall at that hearing. They can skydive in. When they wrote in their very most recent letter that Montana del Oro prohibits night visitation, and they never mentioned that there are 40 primitive camping sites in Montana del Oro. Did that slip their minds? There's a pattern emerging here, a pattern of misstatements, a pattern that suggests that they started out with an objective in mind, and that they were going to come to that conclusion and work backwards to get there. That's what they've done this whole time. So we don't want a continuance. We don't want it backed into the county. We'd rather have it decided here. We trust you much more than we trust the county. Their whole thing has not been public access. It's been development. So they said that when they got the original deed to the park, that they agreed that they could take it because if it was developed as a park, they'd be able to take this donation of land. And they seem to have ignored that there's a public process, there's a democratic process in place here. for this whole thing. And that's specifically in place so that people can't say things like, hey, we'll donate this, and if this park would look great right beside our resort and our golf course, and everybody will make a lot of money, and it'll all be fantastic. It'll all be manicured and flow straight through. That's why the public has an opportunity to speak about these things, thank God. I've seen the plans for Avila Beach Resort, Avila Point Resort. It looks like it's going to be fantastic. I'm sure it will attract, billionaires and politicians. I used to work in venture capital, so I know what I would have done with this particular plan. I would have called up my clients and go, my God, we got this resort, and we're going to have this park right beside it, and wow, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have like our own beach is what it's going to look like, because all the signs are going to be the same, and all the picnic tables and all the paths are going to be made out of the same asphalt, and it's going to flow right through. And then, of course, I'd start making donations like the $36,000 that Exxon made, or Chevron made, to the Bob Jones Trail there in San Luis, there in Adam Hills District. Just to grease the skids, that's what I do. Maybe corporate citizen Chevron just likes to go out and take walks. And we all know how oil companies like to encourage bicycle riding, so maybe they were doing it out of the good of their hearts. But I'm just want to observe that this is not normally how things happen in the world. Usually 99 times out of 100, there's, they want something when they give you a great deal of money. Pirates Cove in character might remind us a bit of Hawaii if we look at it, but there's more in common there that we share with Hawaii. In the late 1800s, when the native people of Hawaii threatened to use the democratic process to rise up and vote out the oligarchs that were piecemealing out their island, the people of Hawaii said, the oligarchs actually said, we will thwart this by sending a message back to D.C. saying, it was called the General Alarm and Terror message. They said the public safety is under attack. We're to save the children, my God. Send the Marines. And the Marines went to Hawaii. They stormed onto the beach. They went through the towns. They scared the hell out of the Hawaiians. And the Hawaiians stayed in their homes and they didn't vote. And so the oligarchs won that particular one. Later, President Grover Cleveland wrote about that particular incident, that there was no basis for that general alarm and terror emergency. He said when these armed men landed, the city of Honolulu was in its customary, orderly, and peaceful condition. There was no symptom or disturbance in any quarter. Men, women, and children were about in the streets as usual. Nothing varied the ordinary routine or disturbed the ordinary tranquility except the landing of the Marines. What does that have to do with pirates? It's a completely fictional call of general alarm and terror given by our local committee of safety that piques my interest here. We keep giving up things in the name of terror. There's one member of this coastal commission that actually knows Pirates Cove because he lives next door to it. He's completely against this development. Is he insane? Can't he see all this wanton mayhem and crime? This terrible, terrible situation. No, he's seen it with his own eyes. He knows that all this doesn't exist. There's problems, primarily trash pickup. We've discussed that. There were 73 reported incidents at Pirates Cove in 2012. That's 1.4 incidents per week. As he said, those are mostly, crimes that shock whoever, but mostly victimless crime. The city of Pismo, right next door to Pirates, in the same time period, 1,965 reported crimes, 37 crimes per week. That's more than 5 incidents per day, or more crime in a single day in Pismo than in a month at Pirates Cove. Why aren't we clamoring to close Pismo? Why? Because we know people are going to drink at Pismo. There's a dozen bars there. Shouldn't we be closing that down at night? What's the difference between Pirates and Pismo besides the fact that Pismo has an incredibly high crime rate and it's all lighted and patrolled? Well, we know that people are going to Pismo to drink. The fact is that they're making money off of Pismo. Yay, it's commerce. You can be free. If there were a bar and a hotel in the Pirates Cove parking lot, you think they'd want to close it at night then? If there was a fight there every night, 10 people all dragging each other, rape, murder, whatever, do you think they'd close it then? I don't think so. And so is that what we're going to decide as a society? Is somebody's making money on it, then that's fine? Literally, 10 times the crime right next door. They write that existing coastal access exists at Shell Beach and Avila and are not in remote areas and provide access that is safe in the hours of darkness. We're not looking for those places. If we wanted to go there, we'd be there. We're not interested in stargazing under glaring street lamps while people drive back and forth 30 feet behind us, blasting boom boxes and stereos in the car. That's why we seek out this particular place. We go to Pirates for the same reason that people go to desert canyons, that they go camping up in the Sierra Nevadas or go to the Grand Canyon. We know that it's undeveloped. That's why we go there. That's why we're passionate about this particular issue. This is the only place like this anywhere near this place. Everything else has been paved. So, if we're going to close this and we're going to pave this and we're going to develop this, that's it, right? I mean, we can't save anything. This is precious. This is the most precious of the precious. And I want to say to you, we have a chance to set a precedent here today where we say, you can save one little piece of wilderness. You really can. We have an opportunity to do that. And when you cast your vote here today, if you vote to deny the development, if you vote to deny this, you're not taking anything away from anybody. Everyone has full access, just as they do now. The laws that apply to the rest of the world still apply at Pirates Cove, just as they always have. It's impossible for you to do harm by voting to deny this development. If you vote to approve the development, however, you are instantly taking something incredibly precious away from tens of thousands of people, from countless generations who will never get to experience the way that we did, because once it's gone, it's gone. If you vote to deny this project, life will go on just as it always has in a place that has been ranked over and over and over again as the happiest place in America. It's the happiest place in America. And if the county's not going to dissolve like the Wicked Witch of the West and just disappear into the ether, I'm sure they'll come up with other plans and schemes in the future, and we'll read about it in the paper. Hopefully they'll be better, and we can engage those down the road. In the meantime, if you vote to deny it, we'll all be back where we were before, living in paradise. Thank you.